Baseball players all have their own ways of training, working out, and the mentality they carry in order to maximize their potential and reach their goals. Some players stick with the traditional methods, and some players have more obscure ways of going about their work, but nevertheless, they all know what they need to be doing to get the job done. But some players in history have done things a little more differently to reach their goals. I'm sure a lot of you know who Wade Boggs was. If you don't, he was only a Hall of Famer, a 12-time All-Star, a World Series champ, 8-time Silver Slugger Award winner, 5-time batting title champ, and a 2-time Gold Glover. Truly one of the best hitters the MLB has ever seen, with a career .328 batting average. Along with all of this guy has some of the most fascinating stories in MLB history. Boggs was a two-sport star coming out of Plant High School in Tampa, Florida. Of course, he was a stud at baseball, earning All-State honors his senior year, but he also was an All-State football player. He played quarterback, but eventually switched to a left-footed kicker and punter to avoid getting hurt and overall protect his baseball career. Boggs was in fact so good at punting and kicking that he earned a Division I scholarship to go play at the University of South Carolina. Boggs would go on to graduate and get drafted in the 7th round of the 1976 MLB draft by the Boston Red Sox. Boggs signed with the club and began his journey to the MLB. Boggs spent 6 seasons in the minor league system with the Red Sox, where he had a .312 batting average over the course of those 6 seasons. The Sox decided they had seen enough and gave him the call during the 1982 season. He came in his rookie year and immediately showed how elite of a hitter he was, hitting .349 with a .406 on-base percentage and an .847 OPS. He finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting behind 2 very good players in Kent Herbeck and a guy named Cal Ripken Jr. He would then of course go on to shred MLB pitching throughout the course of his career, and you have to think, man, for a guy to be this good, he must be in the weight room, eat right, and do all the traditional things a normal professional athlete does. But this is where Wade Boggs separates himself from the crowd. Over the course of Boggs' career, his diet consisted of Miller Lite and a lot of chicken. When Boggs was in the minor leagues, he was on a tight budget and noticed chicken was cheap and an enjoyable option. So Boggs began to eat chicken every single day. He said he noticed the more chicken he ate, the higher his batting average went, and he quoted describing himself as a chicketarian. Eating chicken developed into a superstition for Boggs, and he had to make sure he ate chicken before he took batting practice at exactly 5:17 p.m. and ran sprints at 7:17 p.m. But one thing Bob loved more than chicken was Miller Lite. There's a popular urban legend surrounding Wade Boggs that claims he drank a lot of beer on a cross-country flight from Boston to LA. This number is not exactly known. Some have said 64, some have said 70, and some have said 107. And I guess we'll never really know the truth on how much he drank, but Boggs did once tell TMZ.
One last thing, the rumors, how much beer, what's the most amount of beers you've ever drank in one day?
In one day?
Yeah.
Over 100.
Seriously?
Yeah, over 100.
Is it?
Yes, this man has claimed to have drank over 100 beers in a day. So is 107 true? Probably not, but it's fun to speculate. But nevertheless, we learned what it takes to be an MLB player. A lot of chicken, Miller Lite, and some elite bat-to-ball skills. You've probably never heard of a player named Rube Waddell, or maybe you have, but nevertheless, this dude was an absolute weapon on the mound in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. He's a Hall of Famer, Triple Crown winner, 2-time ERA title winner, and led the AL in strikeouts 6 seasons in a row. And yes, I acknowledge that baseball is a lot different from now compared to the early 1900s, but there's no denying this dude was absolutely dominant for his era. But there is so much more you have to hear about the legend that is Rube Waddell. It's said that Rube was always noticeably different from a young age. It's said in a biography about him that at the age of 3 he would wander off to local fire stations and stay there for several days. He was absolutely obsessed with fire stations, fire trucks, and just everything firefighter, which isn't strange for a young kid, but we'll just have to talk about this more later. But as for growing up for Waddell, it's said that he increased his arm strength by throwing rocks at birds on his family land. And as for strength and conditioning, he worked in the mines and on drilling sites growing up. These training methods obviously worked well for Waddell as he became one of the best pitchers in the MLB. But there's so much more about Rube that just shows you he wasn't your ordinary professional baseball player. And of course these stories are from the early 1900s, so they may not all be true, but we're going to speculate that they are. Continuing on with his obsession with firefighting, this apparently followed him into his adult years. It's said that he used to leave in the middle of games when he would see a fire truck driving by to go chase it down. And he was so fascinated with firefighting that in his spare time, he would volunteer at local fire stations. And these weren't the only instances of him wandering off in the middle of games. He would wander off on game days and even in the middle of games to go fishing. Yes, in the middle of his start days, in the middle of him pitching, he would just leave to go fishing. But just when you think this is as weird as it gets, you just have to hear this. Waddell would go missing for long periods of time in the off season, and no one really knew where he went. Until one day it was figured out that he was wrestling alligators in the circus. He spent his off-season time wrestling alligators, a true three-sport star in baseball, fishing, and alligator wrestling. Definitely an interesting way to prepare for the season, but like I said, some players do have more obscure ways of training, even if it means wrestling alligators. So next time you're in the gym struggling to hit your max, or struggling to make consistent contact with the ball, maybe just try wrestling some alligators, or eating a lot of chicken. It seemed to work for some great Hall of Famers. Once again, thank you guys for watching my YouTube channel. If you want more Batters Eye, my Instagram and TikTok are @batters_eye. I'll leave a link in the description below. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you in the next one.